So good morning to all of you. We will start the today's session. In the last session, we have started with one problem that is basically belongs to analysis of truss. Okay, so this was a problem given. Okay, we have these two members of length. For first length, length of the first member is 500 mm. For second one, length is not given. It is this distance is 300. This distance is 400. So by using Pythagoras theorem, we have found out this length, right? Now what they have done, they applied 12 kilonewton at this point. Okay, this point they have fixed, make it fixed. This point also they have make it fixed. Okay, now see, in order to start with the problem, how we have started, we have assigned the element, we have numbered the node, we have given the coordinates to every node, right? Then we have started assigning the degrees of freedom. So as you can see, every node can move in x and y direction. Okay, so each node will move in x and y direction. So there are 3 nodes and each node will move in 2 directions, that is x and y. So total degrees of freedom, you can see there are 6, right? Then we have just formulated this table. Okay, so every element will be between 2 nodes. Every node will have x and y coordinate. Okay, then we have written length of the element. Then we have calculated L as xj minus xi by Le, M as yj minus yi by Le. Then we have taken L square, then we have multiplied L by M, and then we have taken M square. So this table we have formulated in the last lecture, right? Now see, in order to start with the formula, we should know, okay, what is the element stiffness matrix? So see, the problem belongs to truss. So element stiffness matrix is given by AE by L, okay, this term, right? So you can see this matrix, okay? So the same terms you have it here, but with a negative sign. Okay, same term you have it here with the negative sign, and here the sign is positive, right? Now let us calculate this for element stiffness matrix of element number 1. So area of element number 1, E of element number 1 upon length of element number 1 into, okay, L square of element number 1, LM of element number 1, LM of element number 1, and M square of element number 1. So we have got this matrix. Similarly, we got element stiffness matrix for element number 2. Now we have clubbed this matrix so as to get a global matrix. Okay, so as I told you before, there are 3 nodes. Each node can move in 2 directions. So 3 into 2 is 6. So we have the size of the global stiffness matrix, that is 6 by 6, right? So what we have done, we have just picked the element stiffness matrices and place it in a global stiffness matrices. Again, pick it and place it, right? So by this, okay, we are able to get the global stiffness matrices. Now global stiffness matrices multiplied by displacement will be given by force. Okay, now you can see the node 1, it is fixed. So for node 1, there are 2 degrees of freedom, 1, 2. So U1 and U2 are 0. Similarly, for this node number 3 is again fixed. So U5 and U6 are 0. Okay, so we have solved the system of 2 equations with 2 unknown. Okay, and we have got the value of U3 and U4, right? Now see, the point where deformation is 0 or deflection is 0, at that point we will get a reactions. Okay, so U1, at U1 we will get F1 as a reaction, at U2 we will get F2 as a reaction, at U5 we will get F5 as a reaction, at U6 we will get F6 as a reaction, right? So this thing we already calculated, right? So now we have got these reactions, right? Now next step will be to check the condition of equilibrium, right? So condition of equilibrium is summation of forces in x direction we need to check. Okay, similarly summation of forces in y direction we will check. Okay, so as you can see in the problem, in the truss the forces will be exerted along x and y direction. Okay, so we will take separately the summation of forces in x, similarly summation of forces in y. Okay, now you can see just this, if you just see this 1, 3 and 5, they're related with the x direction, right? 1, 3 and 5, like odd numbers, they're related with the x direction, right? So I'll just add F1 plus F3 plus F5, right? So because see, you can see it here, you can see that, right? F1, F3 and F5, right? They are in x direction. If you go for 2, 4 and 6, which is basically odd, right? Which is basically even, right? So that will be in y direction. So F2 plus F4 plus F6, okay, which will be in y direction, right? Is that okay? Is it okay or not? Let me know. Is that okay? Is it okay with this thing?
Sir.
Is there any doubt with this one? Is there any doubt? Okay. Now let us do the calculation. Right. F1 is 16. See, you can see F1 is 16. Let us go for F3. F3. Okay, it is 0 plus F5. You can check it. F5. What we got? It's minus 16. Right. So if we just take the summation, it will come as 0. Similarly, go for F2. F2 we have calculated is 0 plus F4, which we have entered, it's minus 12 plus F6, which we have calculated, it's 12, right? So we can say, see, our summation of forces, it's tending to 0, right? So see, summation of the forces is tending to 0. That means what? Whatever the values of displacement that we got, they are correct, right? Because see, summation of forces is 0. How you got summation of forces to be equal to 0? From the reactions only, right? Reaction and the forces. So see how you got the reactions? By displacement. See, summation of forces is tending to 0 because your forces or reactions are correct. Summation of forces is 0 because your reactions are correct. And why your reactions are correct? Because your displacements are correct, right? So that means whatever the values of displacement that we have got, they are correct, right? Now let us calculate the stress. Okay, let us calculate the stress. Okay, so as we know, for calculating the stress, we should know the value of strain. Okay, strain, right? So see, the formula for strain. Strain induced in element number 1. Strain induced in element number 1 is given by 1 by length of element number 1. Try to understand. 1 by length of element number 1. Okay, into minus L minus M L M. Try to understand. Minus L minus M L M. This value we already have it from the table which we are previously in the previous lecture we are drawn, right? And now you can check it. See, if you just see this diagram, okay. See, if you see this element number 1, we are calculating strain in element number 1. So for element number 1, okay, degrees of freedom are 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I will just write down U1, U2, U3, U4, right? U1, U2, U4. Try to understand. U1, U2, U3, U4. So let us do that. Okay. So 1 by length of element number 1. See, 1 by length of element number 1. That is LE. What is that? 500. Okay, into minus. Okay, minus I've written L. L you can see is 1, right? L is 1 minus M. You can check it. Minus M. Okay, minus M. M is 0. So I'll just write down directly as 0. Then L is 1 and M is 0, right? M is 0 into U1, U2. Okay, what is U1, U2? Let us see that. Okay. What is U1 and U2? They are 0. Displacement at node 1 in X and Y direction is 0. U1, U2 is 0. See, U1 is 0, U2 is 0. What is U3 and U4? U3 and U4 we have calculated, right? So that is nothing but minus 0.57 and minus 1.95. Minus 1.95. Minus 0.57 minus 1.9, right? Now let us do this calculation. Let's calculate it, right? So now we are supposed to do the calculation for this, right? So let's do the calculation. Okay, now how to calculate it? All of you know that. Okay, simply what we'll do, we'll just multiply this, okay, rows by columns, right? So how to do that? Okay, you can check it. I will just write down. See, minus 1 into 0. I'll just write down. Minus 1 into 0. See, minus 1 into 0 plus 0 into 0 plus, see, 0 into 0 plus 1 into minus 0.57 plus 1 into minus 0.57 plus 0 into minus 1.95 plus 0 into minus 1.9 upon 500, right? So let's do this calculation. Okay, so when you do this calculation, okay, this term will come to be minus 1.142 into 10 raised to power minus, right? Simple calculation is that. Okay, so this will come as minus 1.42 into 10 raised to power minus, right? See, as it is strain, there will not be any unit, right? Now let us calculate strain induced in element number 2. Okay, so in the similar line, I will just write down that formula. 1 by length of element number 2, okay, into again same minus L minus M, L and M of element number 2. This is to be write down for element number 2. Okay. Now you can see element number 2. Okay. We will just see the diagram. If you just see this element number 2, it is between node 2 and 3. For node number 2, degrees of freedom are 3, 4. And for node number 3, they are 5, 6. Right. So accordingly, we will write U3, U4, U5, U6. Right? U3, U4, U5, U6. Right. So these are the degrees of freedom. So let's calculate that. 1 by length of element. 1 by length of element. It just refer this. 1 by length of element number 2. It's 500 again. Okay. Multiplied by minus L. So minus M. So this will come as 0.6. See, minus of minus 0.6. It's minus 0.6. Then L is come as 0.8. M, it is minus 0.6. Okay, into U3, U4. Okay, U3, U4, just we have already calculated these values, U3 and U4. This is minus 0.57. Okay, and U4 was minus 1.95. Okay, what is U5 and U6? You can check it in that. U5 and U6, they are 0. They are 0. So let us do the calculation. Let's do the calculation, right? So this is minus 0.8 into minus 0.57 plus 0, see this into this, right? Plus 0.6 into this one, plus 0.6 into minus 1.95 plus 0.8 into 0 plus minus 0.6 into 0, okay, divided by 500. That's okay. So this is divided by 500. So see, when we'll calculate this term, okay, so it will come as minus 1.429 into 10 raised to power minus, right? So this is a simple calculation is there. Okay, I will not spend the time in doing that. Okay, so this value will come as minus 1.429 into 10 raised to power minus, right? Now see, once we have a strain, okay, we'll calculate a value of stress. Okay, so how to calculate stress? Stress induced in element number 1 is given by E into strain, right? Because E is given by stress by strain, right? Modulus of velocity is the ratio of stress to the strain, right? Now we need to calculate stress. So how will we do that? It is E into strain, right? So let's do that. See, E, value of E, it is common for entire problem, right? Value of E, you can check. E is 70 gigapascal, right? So 70 gigapascal multiplied by strain in element number 1, right? So it is minus 1.142 into 10 raised to power minus. Okay, so this will come as minus 0.0799 gigapascal. Simple calculation, just multiply it. No need to spend more time doing this. Let us calculate now the stress induced in element number 2, right? So how will do that? Again, same E into strain induced in element number 2, right? So E is same again 70 multiplied by strain, right? So this is minus 1.429 into 10 raised to power minus 3. So when you do that, it will come as minus 0.1 gigapascal. Because this E I have taken in gigapascal, E I have taken in gigapascal, and this will not have any unit, right? Strain will not have any unit. So unit of stress will depends upon unit of E. Okay, so if you take E in the gigapascal, obviously stress will be in a gigapascal. It doesn't matter, okay, because the strain will not have any unit. So is it okay with this one? Is it okay with this one? Is that okay? Is it clear? Let me know. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Yeah. So see, so this is with which we are ending this problem. Okay, this is with which we are ending this problem. Okay, now let us start. Okay, we'll solve one more problem based on this. Okay, so you will have a clear understanding. Okay, how to solve such sort of problems. Okay, so let's take one more problem. Okay, let's take one more problem. So 3 bar truss a 3-bar truss is subjected to a 3-bar truss is subjected to loadings. It's subjected to loadings as shown in figure. As shown in figure. The modulus of elasticity, the modulus of elasticity for the bar material, is 300 gigapascal. Is 300 gigapascal. The cross sectional area, of each bar used for the truss is 300 mm square. Is 300 mm square. The length of elements, the length of the elements are L1 is equal to 800 mm, L2 is equal to 600 mm, L3 is equal to 100 mm. Determine nodal displacements. Determine nodal displacements and stress in each element. Okay, so this is a problem. Okay. Now they are given the diagram. Okay, I'll just draw the diagram. So some sort of truss like this they have mentioned. We'll just draw the diagram. Okay, so at this point it is fixed. Okay, at this point they have with the ruler. Okay, at this point they are provided with the ruler. Okay, at this point they applied the load. Okay, 10 kilonewton, and this is 20 kilonewton load they applied. Similarly, they have applied 30 kilonewton here. Okay, at the ruler. Okay, okay, so this is the problem. Okay, which we are expected to solve. Right? Which we are expected to solve. Right. So let us start. Okay, let's start solving this problem. So see, in order to start with the problem, okay, so this is the problem given. Okay, I will just redraw this diagram. Okay, I'll just redraw this diagram again. This is a roller, right? Here they applied the load 10 kilonewton. Okay, because in diagram, okay, we need to assign the nodes, we need to assign the elements. Okay, so that is the reason I'm redrawing the diagram. Okay, so this is the diagram which I drawn as it is. Okay, now, okay, you can see the length of the every element are given. Length of the elements are L1 is equal to 80. Okay, so this main element they have mentioned as 1, this they have mentioned as 2, and this they have mentioned as 3. Okay, so they mentioned the length of element R L1 is equal to 800, right? So this length, okay, so this is 800. See, this length is length of this element number 1. See, this is element number 1, right? It is already given in the problem. This is element number 2, and this is element number 3, which is already given in the problem. At the same time, they mentioned the length in the problem. This is 800 mm. Okay, For element number 2, this is element number 2. Okay, this is 600 mm. Okay, and for element number 3, okay, this is 1000 mm. Okay, for element number 3, it is 1000 mm. Okay, this is 1000 mm. Okay, see, it is mentioned in the problem. For element number 800, 600, and 1000. So this is 800 and this is 600. It is 1000. Right? Now we have okay, whatever the data which was given. Okay, we have input that data in the diagram. Okay, so now very basic step is elements are given. Okay, we just need to start. Okay, numbering the nodes. Okay, we will start numbering the nodes. We will move from left hand side towards right hand side. Okay, we will move from left hand side towards right hand side. Okay, from left to right. Okay, and then from bottom to top, like in that manner we will. Okay, so let this be node number 1. Okay, let this be node number 2. Okay, and let this be node number 3, right? Node number 1, node number 2, node number 3. See, elements have been already numbered. We just start numbering the nodes. Node number 1, node number 2, node number 3. See, why I done it in this manner is I'm moving from left hand side towards right hand side. So I will not get any coordinate as a minus coordinate, right? See, if you just take this as node 1, and if you take this as node 2, what will happen? The coordinate of node 2 will be in the minus. If you start take the reference of node 1, right? So I assign the node 1 at the extreme left hand side, right? So from left hand side towards right hand side, we will have a positive values. Right? So that is the thing which are done. Again, see, I've taken node number 3 upward. Okay, so you will have a positive sign, right? Positive coordinates. So let us start. Let us start doing that. Right? So now see, we will start numbering the coordinates. Okay, so that means we will try to locate every node with respect to some node. So for that, what I will do, I will assume node 1 as a reference with coordinate 0, 0. This is the reference node with the coordinate 0, 0. Now I will locate the position of node 2 with respect to node 1. Right? So if you just locate that, it will come as 800, 0. Right? It is 800, 0. Location of 2 with respect to 1, it's 800, 0. Now location of 3 with respect to 1. Okay, so this is 800 and this is 600. Okay, so we will get this coordinate as 800, 600. Right? So this coordinate is 800, 600. So now we have just assigned the coordinates to every node. Okay, now see, as I told you, every node will move in x and y direction. Okay, so see, this node will have 2 degrees of freedom. One is in x, second is in y. So I will just indicate this as 1 and 2. Try to understand. What is 1? Node 1 can move in x. What is 2? The node 1 can move in y. Right? Similarly, here I will assign as 3, 4. What is the meaning of 3? That node 2 can move in x. What is the meaning of 4? Node 2 can move in y. Right? Similarly, here I will assign as 5 and 6. Meaning of 5 is node 3 can move in x. Meaning of 6 is node 3 can move in y. Okay, so this is xy, xy, and xy. Okay, each node can move in 2 directions. Okay, that is one in x direction and other in y direction. Right? So every node will have 2 degrees of freedom. So if you just see this odd numbers, they indicate the displacement in x direction. If you just see the even numbers, that is 2, 4, and 6, it indicates the displacement in y direction. Okay, so is that okay? Is that okay with this one? Right? Now see, we'll start drawing a table, right? We'll start drawing a table. So for drawing the table, okay, we should know some formulas. Okay, so that for those formulas, I will just write down here only. Okay. See, we required what? We required the length of the element, right? Length of the element we required. And how we used to calculate? We used to calculate it as xj minus xi square plus yj minus yi square, right? So this is how we'll calculate the length of the element by using Pythagoras theorem. Here it is not required because for every element length is directly given. Next we require L. So it is basically xj minus xi by L. Next is M. That is yj minus yi by L. Okay, now see, let us okay start with the table. Okay, so we are interested to write down the properties for the element, right? So we will have the elements. Okay, element number I will just write down. Okay, so every element will be between two nodes. For every element there are two nodes. Okay, and every node will have x and y coordinates, right? So I'll just start writing I. Okay, I is a node. Okay, similarly xi is the x coordinate of node. Yi is a y coordinate of node. Okay, on the similar hand, okay, so this is the node. Okay, this is one node which is having node is 1 or 2, that is I, and it will have x and y coordinates. Similarly, I will have one more node, okay, because every element will be between two nodes. That node number I will call it as j. Okay, so for that j, we will again have xj and yj, xj and yj, right? Xj and yj. Is that okay? So let us go to the okay, xj and yj. Next, let us calculate the length of the element. Okay, length of the element. I will just write down that. Next thing will be L. Next thing is L. Then it is M. Okay. Then L square, LM, and finally M square. L square, LM, and M square. Right. Okay. See, this table I already explained you in the last lecture. Okay. Now let us still start element wise. Okay. Right. Let us start filling this table element wise. Okay. We will start now filling this table element wise. Okay. So let us start with element number 1. Let us start with element number 1. So this is very required. Element number 1. Okay, you can see this element number 1, which is between node 1 and 2, right? Element number 1, it is between node 1 and 2. Okay, so I'll just write down it is between node 1 and 2, right? Similarly, okay, I will write down for node number 2. Okay, similarly, I will write down for node number 3. Okay, is it basically for element number 3, not node number 3. Let us do that. Okay, let us start filling this table. Okay, let's start filling this table. Now, if you can see this element number 2, it is between 2 and 3, right? It is between 2 and 3. If you go for element number 3, it is between 1 and 3, right? It is between 1 and 3, right? Now, for node 1, what is the coordinate? 0, 0. Okay, so for node 1, I will write down 0, 0, right? For node 1, it is 0. For node number 2, 800 and 0, right? 800 and 0. This is again 800 and 0. Right? Now, for node number 3, it is 800, 600, right? This is 800, 600. This is 800 and 600, right? It's simple. How simple I'm filling the table. Then length of the element. Length of the element we want. For element number 1, it's 800. Directly given. No need to use the formula. For element number 2, length is 600. And for element number 3, the length is 1000. The length is 1000, right? Now let us calculate L. L, how we'll calculate? L, we will calculate as xj minus xi. That is 800 minus 0 by 800. Okay, so this will come as 1, right? Then M, that is yj. What is yj? Is 0. 0 minus 0, yj minus yi by le, right? So 0 minus 0 by 800, so it is 0. Okay, now L square is 1. L into M is 0. M square is 0, right? Now let us do this for element number 2. Let us do for element number 2. Again, we will calculate L. How will calculate L? Xj minus xi. That is 800 minus 800. Okay, xj minus xi. See, all of you see here. See, xj. What is the value of xj? It is 800 minus xi. What is xi? You can check it. Xj is 800 minus xi. 800 minus 800 by 600, right? So it will come as 0. Then M is what? Yj minus Yi. That is 600 minus 0 by 600. So it will come as 1, right? Then 0 square is 0. 0 into 1 is 1. 1 square is 1. See, this is how I'm writing. Now let us do for element number 3. Okay. L is Yj, sorry, Xj. Xj is 800. 800 minus 0. See, 800 minus 0 by 1000. So 800 by 1000, it's 0.8, right? Next, Yj minus Yi, that is 600 minus 0 by 1000. So 600 by 1000 is 0.6, right? Now L square, that is 0.8 square, 0.64. L into M, it's 0.48. And M square is 0.36. Is that okay? Is that okay or not? Is it okay? Is it okay with this one or not? Let me, all of you. Is it okay with this table? Let me know. Is it okay?
So last step क्या ये?
So last step, right? What is last step? See, last step is what? Same formula used. Okay. See, length of the element is already known. L, how we will calculate? Xj minus Xi is 800 minus 0 by 1000. So that is 0.8. Y, then M, how we will calculate? Yj minus Yi. That is 600 minus 0 by 1000. That is 0.6. L square is 0.8 square. L into M is 0.48. M square is 0.6 square. That is what is it. Is it okay? Is it okay or not?
Yes. No.
So see, in order to see what is the purpose of this drawing this table, because obviously we need to write down the element stiffness matrices, right? So what is the formula for element stiffness matrices? AE by L, L square LM, LM M square. Same term you have it here with the negative sign. Again, same term you have it here. See, these two terms are same, and again these two terms are same. You can remember in this manner. Right now, let us start doing this element stiffness matrices for element number 1. Right? Let us start doing it for element number 1. Right? Now see how to start it. For that we require area of element number 1, right? So you can see in the problem, see the cross sectional area of each bar used for the truss is 300 mm square. So area for all the element is same, and that is 300 mm square, right? So 300 mm square into E, right? E, modulus of elasticity. See, now all of you just pay the attention here. Area, try to understand. Area, we will take it in mm square, okay? E, modulus of velocity, we will take it in gigapascal. Length, we will take it in mm. And force, we will apply it in kilonewton. So if such is the case, okay, then no unit conversion required. This thing I already told in the last lecture. Okay, so in this case, no unit conversion. No unit conversion required. Is that okay? Right? Because all are uniform units, right? Because a gigapascal itself is in kilonewton per mm square, right? So no any unit conversion is required. So A I have written, E, modulus of velocity, you can check in the problem. Modulus. The modulus of velocity of the bar materials is 300 gigapascal. So I just directly take it as 300 gigapascal. Okay. Now upon length of the element. Now length of the element 1, it is 800, right? So this is 800 into L square of element number 1 is 1. L square is 1. You can check. L square is 1. LM is 0. Again, LM is 0. And M square is 0 again. M square is 0. Right? So I will have a same, but here with the negative sign, here with the negative sign, and here with the positive sign. I will not repeat those things. Okay. Now let's see how much value we are getting. Right. So when we solve this thing, okay, so all of you just do this calculation. Okay, and let me know how much it is coming. Right. So this will come as 112.5. Okay, this will come as 112.5. Right. So what we'll do? Okay, I'll just write it down here only. So it is equal to. Okay, now that term, what we'll do is we will multiply that term. Okay, 112.5 we will multiply inside, right? So this is 112.5, then 0, 0, 0, right? Then here minus 112.5, 0, 0, 0. Again here minus 112.5, 0, 0, 0. Then 112.5, 0, 0, 0. Right? So you can see, right? Is it okay? So what we'll do, we will just, now we have this element stiffness matrices, right? But see, what is the purpose of this element stiffness matrices is to get the global stiffness matrices. So for getting the global stiffness matrices, we should number it the rows and columns, right? Now see, as you can see here, okay, see, as you can see in the problem, for element number 1, okay, degrees of freedom are 1, 2, and 3, 4, right? 1, 2, and 3, 4. Because element number 1, it is between node 1 and 2. Node 1 will have degree of freedom 1, 2. Node 2 will have degree of freedom 3, 4, right? So accordingly, I will assign 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, right? Now let us calculate the same matrices. Okay, let's calculate the same matrices for element number 2. Okay, so it is again, area is same, E is again same. Okay, upon length of element number 2, it's 600, right? 600. Okay, 600 into what? L square. L square is 0. L square is 0. Lm is 1. Again, Lm is 1. And M square is 1. Right? You can check it. See, L square is 0. Lm is again 0. Lm is 0. See, L square is 0. L into M is 0. And M square is 1. Right? So M square is 1. L square, Lam, and M square. Right? So this is how it works. Okay, so I'll just write down, this is here a negative sign. Again, here we have a negative sign, and here we have a positive sign. Right, so let's do that. Let's do this. So when you do calculate this term, okay, when you calculate this term, okay, simple calculation is there. This will come as 150, and that 150 now will multiply it inside, right? So what will get 0, 0, 0, 150. 0, 0, 0, minus 1. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 1, minus 150. 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now for element number 2, you can, okay, element number 2, it is between 2 and 3. For 2, it is 3, 4, and for 3, it is 5, 6. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. In that way, we know. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Now let us write down similar sort of matrix for stiffness matrix for element number 3. Let's do that. Okay, similarly, A is same, E is same. Now upon length of the element number 3, it's 1000. Okay, into L square. Okay, L square is 0.64. Lm is 0.48. Again, Lm is 0.48. And M square is 0.36. Right? 0.36. Here we have negative. Here we have negative. And here we will have positives. Here we will have positives. Okay. Now see, let's see this term we will calculate. Okay, and this term we will multiply it inside these matrices. Okay, so if we just check it, this term, can anybody tell me this how much it is coming? This term? Just do this. Just calculate this term. Okay, and let us multiply it inside. Okay, let us multiply inside. Okay, so just calculate it. You let me know this term. I will multiply it inside with that term directly. Okay, so it will come as 57.6. Okay, 43.2. Okay, 43.2 and 32.4. Okay, see single term you try to get. Okay, multiply this to this, this to this, this to this, and this to this. Single this term you get. Now entire, see if you just see this 4 terms, you make it minus here. Okay, so just write down minus 57.6 minus 43.2 minus 43.2 minus 32.4 minus 32.4, right? Similarly, here minus 57.6 minus 43.2 minus 43.2 minus 32.4, right? Next, again same, 57.6, 43.2, 43.2, 32.4, 32.4, right? Okay, now see, if you just see this term, okay, element number 3, it is between 1 and 3. Okay, here you need to pay the more attention. It is between 1 and 3. For 1, it is 1, 2, and for 3, it is 5, 6. So it is 1, 2, 5, 6. So accordingly, I should number 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, and 6. You can check it. 1, 2, 5, and 6. Okay, now let us form the global stiffness matrices. See, let us form now the global stiffness matrices. How to do that? How to form the global stiffness matrices? For that, we should determine the size. Okay, size of the global stiffness matrices. Size of the global stiffness matrix. Should determine the size, right? So how to determine the size? Okay, so is given by number of nodes multiplied by degrees of freedom per node. Number of nodes multiplied by degrees of freedom per node, right? So we have how many nodes? We have 3 nodes in the problem, and each node can move in 2 directions, right? Each node can move in 2 directions. So there are total 6 degrees of freedom, right? So as a result of this, we are having total 6 degrees of freedom. So size will be 6 by 6, right? As you can see, the last number, see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. So last number is 6. That means obviously your size is 6 by 6. Okay, now let us form that global stiffness matrices. Let us form. So for that, we should have 6 rows, okay, and 6 columns. Okay, so I'll just start doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's do that. So 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. Right. Now let's start placing the elements. Right. Let's start placing them. Let us start with this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just start. Write down the starting element. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's straightforward, right? So 112.5 0 minus 112.5 0 0 0 0 0 minus 112.5 0 112.5 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, simple. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay, simple. Just pick it and place it. Now let us start with this one. Okay, it is again simple. Just get the starting point 3 3. So with 3 3 we will start, right? So see, you can see here this is 3, this is 2, right? So you can see this point 3 3. Okay, so here we will start plus 0. Okay, here again plus 0. Okay, here again I will write down 0. Okay, just side of that 0. You can see this 4 0, 4 zeros, right? Then I will start here plus 0 plus 150 0 minus 150, right? Then here 0 0 0 0. Okay, fifth row I'm doing, fifth row. Then go to sixth row, 0 minus 150. Okay, 0 and 1. So this is we have finished. 3 4 5 6 we have finished. Now see, this is very important now. Okay, now for this we need to take a maximum here, right? Ultimately, otherwise this will be in the wrong. Okay, so let's start doing that. Let us start doing that. Okay, now see how to do that. See, just start row wise. Okay, this is first row. I'll go to first row. Okay, first row, first column. See, first row, first column. So here it is 57.6. First row, first column, 57.6. First row, second column, 43.2. First row, fifth column, minus 57.6. First row, sixth column, minus 43. Right? Next, second row. Go to second row, first column, 43.2. Second row, second column, 32.4. Second row, fifth column, minus 43.2. Then here it is second row, sixth column, minus 32.4. Now see, this every individual element I am writing. Okay, because here we need to take a maximum care. Right. Next, fifth row, first column. Fifth row, first column. Okay, here it is. So it is minus 57.6. Fifth row, second column, minus 43.2. You can check it. Next, fifth row, fifth column. Fifth row, fifth column here. So it is plus 57.6. Fifth row, sixth column, plus 43. Right. Then here, sixth row, first column, minus 43.2. Sixth row, second column, this is minus 32.4. Sixth row, fifth column, plus 43.2. Sixth row, sixth column, plus 32.4. Plus 32.4. Right. So this is how we got the matrices. Right. Is there any problem with this one? All of you? Is there any problem you're facing with this one? Yeah, all of you just let me know. Is there any problem you're facing with this one?
No.
Yeah. So let us start solving this element stiffness, global stiffness matrix, right? So how we used to solve? Okay, this global stiffness matrices when we multiplied by displacement will be given by the force, right? So let us do that. Let's do this one. Okay. So I'll just write down. See this addition 112.5 plus 57.6. Simple. Is 170 something. 170.1. Then just below that it's 43.2. Okay, below that minus 112.5. Below that it's a 0. Then minus 57.6 minus 43.2. Right. Then here 43.2, 32.4, 0. Then one more time 0. We have minus 43.2 minus 32.4. Next, minus 112.5, 0, 112.5, 0, 0, and 0. Right. Next, we have 0 here, 0, one more time 0, 150, 0, minus 150. Right. Next, minus 57.6, minus 43.2, 0, 0. Right. Then 57.6, 43.2. Now we are going to last column, minus 43.2, minus 32.4, 0, minus 150, then 43.2, 43.2. Then this one, you can tell 150 plus 32.4, 150 plus 32.4, it might 182.4, right? 182. Okay, so this is what, okay, our this global stiffness matrix, right? So this is to be multiplied by the displacement. So those are u1, u2, u3, u4, u5, and u6, right? So is given by forces, and those forces are F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, and F6. Right? So these are the forces. Now we need to solve it. Okay, now see all of you. You need to solve such sort of equations, right? So we should impose the boundary conditions, right? We should impose the boundary conditions. Okay. So I think with this I will stop. Okay. And in the next lecture, okay, we will further continue with the problem. Okay. Now in the next lecture we will impose the boundary condition. We will solve the equations. We will
Okay,
calculate the
sir.
displacement. We will calculate reaction, then stress and strain. So it will take some time. Right. So with this lecture, with this, okay, we will finish the today's session, and in the next session, okay, we will continue the same. So
Sir, sir,
yeah, I'll be just putting the attendance link. You can mark your attendance and then you can. Is there any doubt?
सर सीमा खतीब का किस एड्रेस पे पोस्ट करने का है डॉक्यूमेंट्स के साथ एप्लीकेशन?
Okay, okay, just a minute.
मैं आपको व्हाट्सएप किया था, रिप्लाई नहीं किया आपने.
अटेंडेंस दे दो ना पहले.